Today, we're comparing the newly released SmallRig RF20C with the older RF10C, looking at what's changed, the key difference between them, and whether it's actually worth upgrading. I've been a big fan of the RF10C, but it wasn't perfect. So when SmallRig released the RF20C, I was excited to see what improvements they made and whether they addressed some of the issues I had with the original. So after using both, here's what I found. At first glance, you'll immediately notice that the RF20C is slightly longer and thicker than the older RF10C. The reason for that is the addition of an active cooling fan, which we'll talk about more later in the video. Because of the larger body, the RF20C is also a little heavier, coming in at 520 grams compared to the 422 grams on the RF10C. But honestly, the roughly 100 grams difference isn't something I really notice. Both lights still feature a single USB-C port for charging and 3/4 inch mounting points. One small upgrade is that the RF20C now includes array locating pins on the side mounts, whereas the RF10C only has the standard ones. When it comes to the lighting modes, the RF10C came with 4 different colors: warm white, red, orange, and blue. The RF20C adds one more option, bringing the total to 5 colors with warm white, purple, orange, blue, and red. While it's nice to see an additional color, I have to admit I was a little bit disappointed here because I was really hoping SmallRig would introduce full RGB support with the RF20C. That alone would have probably made upgrading to the RF20C already a no-brainer for me. Now the biggest difference between these two lights is the power output. The RF20C now delivers 20 watts of power compared to the 10 watts of the RF10C, giving you twice the power of the previous model. To put that into perspective, here's a side-by-side comparison of both lights at maximum brightness using the exact same camera settings. And as you can see, the difference is pretty significant. And another example pointing both at the wall at the same time. With the RF10C, I was very limited in where I was able to use it. This was a problem especially in spaces where I had ambient light and where the 10-watt output was simply not powerful enough, limiting me to only using it in very dark environments. The extra power of the RF20C though gives me a lot more flexibility. I can now use it in rooms with practical lights or existing ambient light without losing the effect completely. Here's an example of a client shoot I did where I was lighting the subject with a backlight and then used the RF20C to create this sort of flashlight effect. Since we couldn't black out the room completely, I had to change my exposure in camera to make the scene darker. This is where the RF20C really proved its value. Even with the surrounding lights in the room, it was still bright enough to stand out and create the look I was going for. Another thing I noticed is that the light projection of the RF20C is slightly smaller than that of the RF10C, both when fully zoomed in and fully zoomed out. When zoomed all the way in, the RF20C also produces a more obvious halo around the edges of the projection, which I think is a slight downgrade compared to the RF10C. However, this can be fixed easily by zooming out slightly and moving the light a bit further away from the wall. One improvement I was really hoping to get with the RF20C would be the ability to adjust the sharpness of the projection. Unfortunately, just like the RF10C, there's no way to adjust it. That option alone would make it a significant upgrade and make the RF20C worth buying for me. However, while putting this video together, I actually found out that SmallRig released an accessory called the SmallRig SPR Spotlight, which exactly fixes this problem. I've already ordered one, so once it arrives and I've had some time to test it, I'll also do a separate video on it. Personally, I wish they had already integrated this feature into the RF20C itself, or at least included the attachment into the box like they do with the GOBO kit, instead of making it a separate purchase. In fact, when using the GOBO attachment, I found that the RF20C actually struggles a bit more with projecting more complicated patterns compared to the RF10C. Simpler patterns perform about the same, but with more detailed designs, the difference becomes more obvious. As for the GOBOS themselves, nothing has really changed. You still get practically the same 20 patterns from the previous model, and honestly, I think they're exactly the same ones included with the RF10C. Honestly, I was expecting a little bit more here, especially for existing RF10C users. Even just a few new patterns would have been a nice addition. With great power comes great responsibility. That's what SmallRig probably thought when adding a fan to the RF20C. Jokes aside, because of the increased output, the RF20C does get significantly hotter than the RF10C. SmallRig even added a warning label around the zoom mechanism because that area can get quite hot during use. And I actually found out the hard way. While I was testing the RF20C, I accidentally left it on for about an hour, and when I went to turn it off, the power button was so hot that I couldn't comfortably touch it and had to use my shirt to turn it off. As soon as you turn the RF20C on, you'll immediately hear the fan kick in, which sounds like my MacBook on overdrive mode. Here's a quick sound test of the RF20C's fan noise. This is definitely something to keep in mind if you're shooting in quiet environments or recording audio close to the light. One weird thing I noticed is that even when the RF20C is turned off, the fan still turns on while it's charging. I'm not really sure why that's necessary, but the fan does turn off once it's fully charged. As for battery life, the RF10C gives you around 3 hours of runtime at full power, while the RF20C lasts about an hour and a half. But that's to be expected, considering the RF20C is delivering twice the power. Honestly, I don't really see this as a major issue since both lights can be used while charging. So if you need longer run times, you can simply plug in a power bank and keep shooting. So which one should you actually get? If you already own the RF10C, I still think it's a great light, especially if you mainly shoot in darker environments, don't need a ton of output, or frequently use some of the more detailed gobo patterns. But if you've ever found yourself wishing the RF10C was just a little bit brighter and you mainly use simpler patterns, then I think the RF20C is absolutely worth considering. And if you don't own either light yet, I would personally choose the RF20C simply because of the additional power it gives you. Even when you consider the price difference, the RF20C comes in at around $79, while the RF10C costs about $52. For roughly $27 more, I'd happily pay the difference just for the added flexibility and peace of mind for the additional power output. That being said, I don't think the RF20C is a massive upgrade over the RF10C. Personally, I wish SmallRig had added full RGB support and the ability to adjust the sharpness of the projection without having to buy a separate attachment. So if you're already happy with your RF10C, I'd honestly stick with it. But if you need more output or you're buying your first spotlight, the RF20C would be my pick. If you have any questions about either light, feel free to leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!